Hello everybody, welcome back to the Discraft Great Lakes Open. This is round 2 coverage. This is the 5th Disc Golf Pro Tour of the year, and this one is sponsored by Discraft, as well as this coverage. My name is Paige Pierce.
And I'm Missy Gannon.
And on the front round, you saw some interesting scores. Myself at 5 under, and then a bunch of 3 unders. 3 of them on this card between Catrina, Kona, and Jessica, and then we had 2 more in Haley King and Missy Gannon on the chase card.
All right, let's get started here on hole 1, 477 feet. It is a par 3. There is OB all along the left side, and the fairway definitely curves to the right. You just want to throw something either, nice and understable out left and have it glide to the right, or, if you have a big forehand, that is definitely a viable play here. See if anybody can capitalize on the 2.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure you turn it over and don't go OB, but if you turn it over too much, that right side gets a little hairy on the tall grass and the branches blocking you to the basket. That one was my buzz, a little bit too turned over. Gonna be in the rough on the right.
Next up, we have Kona Panis, looking like she's lining up that big forehand that she's been working on. Excited to see this shot.
Yeah, and she was one of 3 players yesterday to be 100% inside circle 1, so excited to see her putt today.
Yeah, she's set up right in the middle of the fairway. She should have an easy pitch up to the basket.
Catrina lining up an M4. This one looks great, but just keeps gliding too far to the right. She's going to be in the tall grass, pretty close to where I landed as well. We'll have some similar approaches.
Jessica Weese, also known for her big booming sidearms, looking like she's lining that up.
Oh yeah. That one came out super fast and on a good angle. She gets well up the fairway, almost to circle 2. Kona with the easy approach there.
Yeah, and this is what you're going to see if you go too far right. You're just going to have to really commit to a turnover line. You can almost not even see the basket at some points over there. So it was a good shot by Kat.
Yeah, I decided to go with the sidearm. I'm a little bit more right than Kat. A branch took a little bit of speed off, and I'm going to be just outside the circle.
Looked like a Sonic from Jessica. Great putt.
Outside the circle par putt to start was not what I was looking for. But
But get those out of the way early, and it's nice to get those bigger putts going.
yeah, sets the tone for the rest of the round, and hopefully that doesn't set a negative tone for Kat for the rest of the round with that miss there.
Good confident putt by Kona. As well as Jess. We're moving on to hole 2, a very uphill hole, par 4, 435 feet. Seems like a short par 4, but this is so very uphill. It probably plays more like 480, 470. You just want to pump something as far as you can up this hill and hopefully leave yourself with a shorter approach, but even so, with that severe uphill end to this elevated basket, you're really going to have to put some power behind these shots.
This is my Surge SS. Just trying to rip it and stay in the short grass. A little bit early out of Kona's hand. Too much hyzer. She's going to find the tall bushes on the left side of the fairway. This one's Jess's Star Vulcan. She likes to rely on that one for her power shots. Not quite enough angle on that one to get it to fly forward enough.
That looked like a great angle, matching the hillside and getting a lot of power behind that one.
Oh, lots of power from Jess with that really weird stance. She gets up to pin high, but just outside the circle on the right side. This one is our one of 3 elevated baskets on the course.
So Kona, fortunately, is able to step out a bit unless... Yeah, and at least get up there. You can get really deep in those bushes, and it's almost impossible to get out.
I was surprised to see how much of a clean approach she had from that drive. And Catrina with the PA1 just up to the top of the hill.
Yeah, and you still couldn't even really see the basket from there, and that's just showing you how far this is, even though it's elevated.
Kona now, she looked like she was lining this one up. You don't really see Kona running many long circle 2 putts, so that was cool to see. Catrina with a little bit low left release there. Have to settle for a par.
Nice birdie from Paige. And the other ladies will clean up for their pars as well. Now hole 3, 915 feet. It is our first par 5 of the round, excuse me. This is really, you just need to stay in the fairway. There is OB along the left side. I think it'd be difficult for most of us to reach the OB on the left off the tee. So you just want to throw something low and get as far down this fairway as you can without turning over too much. And then it goes back uphill. So I think that there are eagle opportunities on this hole, definitely birdies, but if you don't stay clean, it could turn into a par or a bogey real quick.
It rolled out of the bushes. Yeah, super early release. I had no grip on my disc, and I was happy to see it rolling into the center of the fairway. Just a little bit too stable of a disc. It looked great out of her hand for the first 50 feet, but it just started hooking up so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And Kona's going to find herself out of bounds. Jessica clubbing down to a mid-range, just trying to get a glidey flight out of the disc and land in the center, but it just drifts a little bit too far to the right, and she's going to be in those big bushes on the right side.
Yeah, I don't know. When we were teeing off just before you guys, there wasn't a lot of wind, but on the tee, it definitely felt like more of a tailwind. But then when we started walking down the hill, it felt like a headwind. So I saw a lot of discs turning over that looked perfect and just never came out. And it was definitely surprising to feel that wind change.
Yeah, you don't feel it from the tee. It felt pretty still up there. This one is my buzz, just trying to put it in the center of the fairway, get that glide and ride down the hill so I can still have a chance at a birdie here if I can get up and down. Kona now from a little bit of a obstructed stance. Looked like her run-up was really short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're gunning for that eagle, you really have to pump another big drive up there. It looks a little bit shorter from Kat, but she should be able to get hopefully up and down for a birdie.
Yeah, and Jessica, we looked for her disc for a while. We barely found it in time, and luckily she just was able to find it for starters and then to get a good solid out on her next shot.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't even see her back there. That stuff is very thick. This is my Crystal Fierce, just a little bit early out of my hand again. Gonna be just inside circle 2 on the left side.
Pretty solid approach by Kona there. Yeah, Jess likely couldn't even see the basket from that position, so you're kind of just throwing a blind shot, trying to pinpoint where to throw it.
All right, and Catrina right in the bullseye. Oh, Jessica just a tiny bit low from about 25. Now Kona from about the same distance.
Nice.
All right, great hit. And she's still 100% inside circle 1 for the tournament.
Kat with a nice birdie on that hole. Let's check in the leaderboard. Paige is 1 down through 3 at the moment, still holding on to that 3-stroke lead. Still a bunch of people really close behind.
Kat Merch at 3 under through 5 holes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those are some big birdies to get early on. Hole 4, par 4, 508 feet. You kind of have a couple of options here. You just need to avoid all of these trees in the middle of the fairway.
No big deal.
No big deal. Just, but really, honestly, you want to stay as far to the right side as you can. It definitely is a more open line, unless you can get past those trees, which I can see a roller or a really nice flex shot getting through to give you a wide open approach to this uphill basket. But if you get into the rough or get kicked down early, it could be a scramble for par.
Catrina going with the roller here. just starts cutting a little bit too soon. She even said, why? It was such a good angle out of her hand, but I think it's just a little bit more flippy than she's given it credit for. Gonna find the woods on the right, and it's kind of hard to get up and down from there.
It's very pinched off over there.
Also going with the roller and just release it late. I'm not trying to go right at those trees at all, so this was quite a bit off my mark. Kona going for that hyzer play over to the left, and right out of her hand she said, oh, don't hit it again. So I'm guessing round one she found that same tree.
I like the sidearm play on this hole if you have it. Just not quite enough flip up from Jess there. She will also find that first pine tree.
Forced to drop to a knee, and she grabs her more understable Vulcan.
I like it.
Wow, that was gorgeous.
Yeah. If it's a little bit left more, it hits that hard pan and gets a nice skip up the hill a bit.
Kona actually has a pretty open look at the basket. She does have to throw a hyzer around that first tree, though. Finds herself about 45 feet away.
Yeah, you're forced to throw that big Annie shot.
I got close to circle two, but not quite enough power on that one. It's hard to get a lot of distance from that severe of an angle that high.
Kat was quite a ways farther up, but has a similar shot. She looks like she found herself about 45 as well.
That was my fear. It's a little bit too hot. It kind of slid to like 20, and that uphill stance is a little bit of gonna make it a little bit of a tester.
Yeah, and that backdrop off. If you come in too hot, you really have to have that speed control for this upshot. A little bit of a misfire there from Kona.
Yeah, a little stuck to her hand, grip lock. Catrina from just outside the circle. Can't get it quite high enough. Oh, no. And now Kona's left with this. Just kind of pitches it up there and takes the medicine. Look how all my weight is on my front leg.
Yeah.
I got to switch to a straddle putt on those situations. Right.
Two pars, two bogeys, and we are moving on to hole 5, 300 feet, par 3. It's, again, very uphill, not super long of a hole, but you really have to just kind of have a little bit of luck here. If you hit any one of these gaps initially, it's not even really a guarantee that you're going to get all the way up to the basket. But if you hit this gap right where the drone is flying through, with something nice and committed and slightly understable, you have a pretty good chance at a birdie here.
Cat with that beaten M4. Little bit low, but it has enough speed so it gets a skid forward. Jess with that Vulcan on a severe hyzer angle. Oh, I loved it. Just hit that tree and no, rolling down the hill.
Dang. There it is. If you can hit that gap perfectly, that's exactly the result you're going to get.
Right. Kona going with the backhand on this one. Surprised to see that actually from Kona on this hole.
Mm-hmm.
She gets inside circle too, just a little bit more turn, and I think that's inside the circle. Right, Kona and Jess is pitching it up.
Oh, that looks so good.
Beautiful putt from 40 feet for Kat. It's a little bit too high.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate bogey there for Jess, but, you know, a little unlucky on that tee shot.
So I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
noticed, but Jessica's upshot hit my drive a little bit farther away, and we weren't sure about the ruling on that. So I played a provisional and played it both ways. And after talking to the tournament director after the round, it is correct that you should move your disc back if it's seen, whether it be by nature, by a dog, or by anything. If the disc's moved after it comes to rest, you are supposed to move it back to where it went.
Interesting.
Today, we'll be talking about the Nuke. The Nuke is a wide-rimmed, fast, maximum distance driver. When throwing on a wide-open course with the Nuke, I'm using it to unleash maximum backhand distance potential. Due to its slim profile and wide rim, the Nuke also fits really well in the hand when throwing sidearms. If I'm looking to throw down some boom sauce, I'm going with the Nuke. You can pick one up at Discraft.com or your local disc golf retailer.
Cameron Messerschmidt here, PDGA number 58814 with Team Storm Disc Golf. Today we're going to be showing you the radar. It's got pretty straight neutral flight qualities, and I'm going to demonstrate that as we throw into hole 5's green here out at the Preserve Championships.
All right, now hole 6, 540 feet, par 4. This is a really nice down then uphill shot. You just want to throw something straight through this gap. Just try to get to that flat part of this hill to give yourself good footing for this second shot, where you can pretty much throw, you know, anything at this hill and have it slide up to the basket. There is a drop off on the left side, so if you have something hyzer out too much on that second shot, you can find yourself well down the hill.
Yeah, just trying to place my putter in the center of the fairway. A little bit weird run up there. I chose the side of the tee, and it was kind of uphill. Gonna find myself a little left at the gap. Catrina with a completely different play. She's going with the fairway driver on a little bit of an anhyzer. and it's just nice and glidey and just finds the center of the fairway. That was a beautiful shot.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Kona has a similar play in mind. It's a little turn on it. Heiser's back nicely. She'll be a little bit right, but set up great for the second shot.
Jessica, this is a lightweight sidewinder, very understable. You can see she's starting it out way left, looking for that turn, but just hits that barrier tree. I got kind of an uphill run up and trying to rip it through this gap. Hit a tree as hard as possible and ricochets way to the right.
You could tell you're a little surprised.
Yeah.
With your face. Just forced to step out and throw an Annie forehand. Just a little bit too high, clips that tree and drops down.
Oh, and I loved it. Just a tiny bit late out of her hand.
And I like that approach for that specific shot because of that hill on the left side of the basket. Because this is the danger. If you throw something with a little bit too much hyzer and it doesn't flip up, you're going to find yourself well down that hill.
Yeah. That was a new spot for me. Never been over there, but I was surprised to see a decent sized gap. So I was excited about a chance at being able to save a par.
Yeah, it looks like Jess also had a different gap from her angle.
Kona lined up a few different options, ended up going with the sidearm hyzer, and finds herself within 18 feet or so on our second elevated basket of the round.
Yeah, and this probably looks 100 feet high from down there.
Yeah, must. I mean, you don't see Catrina Allen lay up too many putts, but there was only 2 birdies in the field on this one. Kat Murch and Ellen Woodboom. Nice. Oh, I'm sorry. One more. Sarah Hokum.
Nice.
So some sidearm slingers.
Ooh, great putt for par.
Oh. No, so close. And that will be Kona's first inside the circle miss of the entire event so far, and just barely missed it, too.
Yeah.
You call those the elevator putt when it does that?
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those for sure.
Get a leaderboard check-in. Heather Young is 3 under through 7 holes. She is making a charge from the second card.
Hole 7, 390 feet, par 4. This is, I think, a great par 4 for us. It's a little soft, but there is OB all along the left side, and that one pine tree in the middle it definitely comes into play. You just want to throw either a sidearm or a nice Annie shot and get past that first tree, or if you have the distance, there is this back door route that Paige is lining up. A big booming hyzer. You just have to miss some of those trees on the left, and you could find yourself with an eagle putt for sure.
Yeah, we talked about this one, the par on this one, for a while. I think last year, and so far for me this year as well, for my experience, I haven't seen anybody get inside circle 2, so I think, like you said, it is a soft par 4, but it's such a hard par 3. So
definitely. Oh, this looks like it has a chance. Yeah. Even that looked perfect, but she's still outside circle 2.
Kona lining up the sidearm. Looking to match Jess.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be a little bit shorter, but she's around the corner and will have an open look to get up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Kat's turnover left her in a tough spot, though, up under that tree. She had to go low and, unfortunately, just a little bit too low.
Great sidearm approach by Kona there. I'm imagining this is a Sonic. Yeah, it's nice. You can really feel confident running that basket from there.
Little backboard on that hillside.
For sure. All right, I want to see where you landed. Wow.
Yeah, just barely outside the circle on this one, and the only thought is to keep it low under those branches.
No way. No way.
Super sad about that one. It was already in,
Jeez.
but just a ringer.
I mean, easy birdie, but
Yeah,
that would have been
yeah.
that would have been an awesome eagle.
Right, so me, Jess, and Kona will take the birdie threes there, and Kat will have to settle for a par. Yeah, and that one did have a 53% birdie rate. That was playing as one of the easiest holes on the course.
Nice. Hole 8, quite a bit different from the last hole. It's completely blind. You're up on the hill on the tee shot and just looking straight into big bushy tops of trees. So it's really not an option to go low unless you're okay settling for a par. You kind of have to throw this big sky hyzer, just like you see Paige throwing here, and just hope that it's good. You don't really know what you're going to get. As long as you don't clip those early trees, you'll hopefully be set up in the middle of the fairway or up in the green like you did.
Yeah, that's the closest I've been in all my years here at Toboggan. Jessica also with a good shot. She's a little bit shorter. She'll be inside circle 2. That was her sidewinder again. I was surprised to see her throw that, like a 160 gram sidewinder
Wow.
on a spike hyzer angle. Kona has the distance, just a little bit too left. She's going to be obstructed by some trees. We'll see if she has a look.
This looks like it might do something similar to Kona's. Yeah, definitely had the distance, just need to be a little bit wider. And I was in a similar spot, so I can absolutely speak to the fact that you don't know what kind of gap you're going to have over there. Looks like these two ladies have somewhat of a gap, which is nice. It definitely is a little more jail on that side of the basket.
Yeah, this course is known for its rough. It's brutal when you get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do you not have a look most of the time, but you're also getting cut up and
Yeah, for sure.
maybe even lost disc.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of nice, though. It really rewards the players that are staying on the fairway.
Mm-hmm. Great birdie. I have to imagine that was one of few. It's definitely a hole that a lot of us can reach. It's just so hard to know off the tee where your shot ended up. You kind of just have to trust your game and trust your practice.
Yeah, that was the only birdie for round 2. We did see one birdie yesterday from Jennifer Sawyer, though.
Nice. Hole 9, par 3, 428 feet. This is definitely a difficult par 3 for us. You just need to really the straightest line to the basket is the way that the drone is flying through. So if you can just throw a driver up here as far as you can. You might have a look at a 2, but for the most part, I think we're all okay with a 3 on this hole.
Quite a bit late out of my hand. I'm going to find that tree. It does kind of look like it pinched through a little bit or pushed through a little. So we'll see if there's any sort of backdoor gap over there.
Just going forehand. This is a nice play to give yourself a pretty good look, more open look to the basket if you can get around that last tree on the left.
Kona now with her new signature disc. She's really excited about this one, the Emperor from Infinite Discs. Oh, and unfortunately just a little bit early out of her hand. She was looking for that hyzer flip up to the left side.
Kat's lining up a roller, it looks like.
Yeah, this one's pretty tough for the roller. I feel like it's... Yeah, those like the low...
Yeah.
The high grass right there just kind of slows down the progress of it.
Mm-hmm. And it's got to have so much power to get up that hill.
Kona, this shot was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. That gap is tiny, and
Yes.
for her being so far back to hit that gap was amazing from a standstill stance, too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did have an open look. I just couldn't see the basket. I actually thought that was perfect, and when I got up there, noticed it was just inside the circle, a little short.
Jess had a low ceiling there, but she pitched up with her Sonic.
Another one should go to straddle. Taking notes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you don't learn something from your round every time, then, you know, maybe you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
Good par save by Kat.
Super wide stance from Jess. I'm guessing those branches are right in her way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Great par save. All right. That was beautiful up and down from Kona. And that'll do it for the front 9. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's check out this leaderboard. So myself and Haley King are at 1 under. That leaves us at 6 under and 4 under respectively. Heather Young is the story right now, though, 3 under, and she's making a charge to get up on this lead card for the final day. We also got Sarah Hokum and Ellen Widboom under par. And the back 9, like we said yesterday, that's where the birdies come. So excited to see what action goes down on the back 9. Make sure you guys tune in to see how the round concludes.